Hi guys, my name is Yash. I'm a CPA certified business analyst, and today we'll be continuing with our 10th question, okay, of our business analyst interview series, where we just not discuss the questions and answer. We also discuss the understanding of the concept because that's super important when we go into interviews, right? So, what does the acronym for SIPOC stand for? So I'll answer it. SIPOC stands for Supplier, Inputs, Process, Outputs, and Customers. It is a high level process mapping tool to understand the overall flow of a process from end to end. As a business analyst, I use SIPOC at the initial stage of analysis to get a clear overview of who is involved, what inputs are required, how the process flows, what outputs are generated, and who the end customers are. It helps in defining scope and aligning stakeholders before going into detailed process modeling like BPMN. In my CraftCart project, I used SIPOC to map the order processing flow, like identifying suppliers like sellers, input such as product data and payment details, process of order placement and fulfillment, outputs like confirmed orders, and customers as end users. This helped in clearly understanding the system boundaries and preparing for a deeper analysis. Overall, SIPOC provides a structured, high level view that sets the foundation for detailed requirement analysis. So guys, as you can see, SIPOC, it's a high level process mapping tool used by business analysts to understand who provides input, how the process works, what output is generated, and who receives it, right? So I'll just give you a short example with a pic which I have right now. I hope you're able to see this. Okay. So as you can see in SIPOC, first is supplier. So who is a supplier? Who supplies the input? There is product managers, designers, development. So this is a SIPOC example for software development. Okay. So who supplies the input? Product manager, designers, developers. What are the inputs? The inputs, what inputs are required? Feature requirements, design prototypes, coding guidelines. What are the major steps in the process? The software development includes planning, coding, testing, and deployment. Second is agile methodologies might involve sprint planning and continuous iterations. What are the process outputs? O. Functional software with new features or improvements. And C is who receives the outputs as end users and stakeholders. So as you can see, S stands for suppliers, I stands for input, P stands for process, O stands for output, and C stands for customers. I'll give you a very easy example because this might, look complicated in a way. So I'll give you a very easy example. Just imagine in S, for example, in supplier, there would be restaurant, right? Input would be food order, like customer would order food, right? The input would be food order. A restaurant wants to deliver food order, for example. Process would be prepare and deliver food, right? Process, supplier would be restaurant, input would be food order, process would be prepare and deliver food. Output would be delivered order, right? Once you deliver the order, customer receiving the food would be C. So you remember? So just analyze this. SIPOC is supplier would be restaurant would be preparing the food, input, then the process would be prepare and deliver the food, right? Output would be delivered ordered to the customer, that's the end user, right? Customer receiving the food. So this is a very simple example for SIPOC, which I can give you. So SIPOC gives a high-level view of business processes from supplier to customer. It also helps business analysts understand the complete flow of process quickly. So it's a great process mapping tool before we move on to our BPMN diagrams. Do you remember BPMN diagrams? BPMN diagrams are basically those diagrams which are, just a minute. So BPMN diagrams are as is to be processes, current process and the future process, right? So before that, SIPOC is super important to understand a clear overview of requirements, how the requirements are going to flow, right? So I hope you understand what SIPOC stands for, and I hope you learn something from it. Thank you so much for watching the video.